Hello everyone, welcome to Chess4Unity's third Saturday event. If you're new here, my name is Vincent and I am a FIDE master and I am trying to win first place in this tournament, as always. So, if you want to know more about Chess4Unity and what we do, be sure to visit chess4unity.com. So, chess4unity.com. So, we're going to get started. My opponent starts out with e4. Before I continue, good luck, old wet plant. And we get into the French defense. So I hope everyone is staying safe, doing well. For those who are still in school, I hope school is over and you're already making summer plans, a relaxing summer. Okay, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. This is all nothing new. And knight g7. I hope you guys are following, have followed the Norway chess tournament that was going on the past 2 weeks. It was interesting, very interesting. There were a lot of interesting games. And of course, Carlsen won. What's new? And right now, the candidates tournament is going on. So, good luck to all the players there. Hopefully, someone can at least give Carlsen a run for his money. Yeah. Okay, my opponent's thinking a while here, which means he doesn't really know the theory. That's okay. Let's check out some other games that are going on. Oh. Okay. This game is Rose Dolphin versus Brandon 20. And looks like white is doing very well. Alright, if c5, queen d7 was pawn. Honestly, that's probably black's best idea. Yeah, seems like c5 is the best move. At least you get compensation for the pawn. Yeah, but we'll see what he does. Okay, let's get back to my game. Okay, rook e1, expected. And I castle. And now my next move is developing this bishop to either f5 or g4. Both seem like very good squares. It kind of depends on what my opponent does, but likely f5, I would say. Okay, that's a little bit surprising move. Yeah, I'm gonna go to g4. Yeah, this bishop on e3 makes me want to have this knight f5 option open for myself. So if I put my bishop on f5, obviously I'm not going to be able to go knight f5. So this seems like the more logical option. Knight bd2. So if I go knight f5, let's say he goes h3. Yeah, I'm not in love with the fact that after h3, I have to take. Actually, I don't. What am I thinking? You know, after h3, I still can go bishop g h5. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Let's do this. Yeah, because after h3, I'm going to go bishop h5, and if white goes g4, I have this in-between move, knight takes e3. So that makes it a lot better. And of course, if white goes bishop g5, I can play queen takes g5, knight takes g5, bishop takes d1. And the idea is that I win this pawn on d4. So bishop g5 takes, knight takes. And now I can take the queen and then take the pawn on d4, because d4 becomes protected, unprotected. So it's an interesting situation to see what my opponent does here. Okay, let's go to, we're back to this game, where white looks almost winning. Yeah, this does not look very pleasant. Okay, I'm exaggerating by saying it's winning, but I mean, honestly, I might not be even exaggerating. This looks so bad. Yeah, now f5 and f6. Yeah, that's tough. Hopefully, Brandon can find some resource to get back in the game. But for now, this looks really bad. Okay, let's check some other games that are more. What else? Yeah, let's check chess. Math 54321 versus Chessboy 20,153. This looks definitely better for black, right? Black has this open file, this pawn is hanging. And yeah, it doesn't seem like white has that many moves. Anyways, this bishop looks pretty bad. Yeah, so black definitely has the advantage here. I'm sure it's nothing like super special, but yeah, advantage is the advantage. So, okay, let's get back to my game where my opponent plays bishop takes c6, which is perfectly logical and expected. B takes c6. So this pawn structure is very double-edged. On one hand, obviously I would rather not have this double pawns because I feel like it doesn't really promise me anything great. If I manage to play c5 at some point, it could be better. But for now, it's not that great. But I also do get the bishop pair, so that's a plus. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and chop off this bishop. Rook takes. Yeah, so there's a combination where I can win a pawn. So if f takes e3, I don't really have a plan for that, but I feel like that would definitely be beneficial for me. I can either go queen f6 or I can go c5 even. So f takes e3 is not a very dangerous move. Rook takes e3 is what I'm sure my opponent intended to play if I took on e3. But the problem with rook takes e3 is I have this move bishop takes f3. And if knight takes f3 after bishop takes f3, I have this move bishop f4, which skewers the rook and the queen, which pins the rook to the queen, and meaning that I'm going to win an exchange. So he can't do that. So after bishop takes f3, he has to take back with the rook, and then we go queen h4. Okay, so my opponent sees that, and he's like, nope, that's not going to happen. So he goes f takes e3, which makes sense, of course. Yep, let's go c5. I feel like this is the best opportunity to play this move before white plays something like c4. So at this point, I think we can safely say that black's position is a little bit better. I would justify that by saying that I have a more flexible pawn structure and also the bishop pair as well in an open position. And usually those combinations make it beneficial. Okay, that is pretty surprising. Not in a bad way, it's just Did not expect that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and chop this piece off. I'm gonna go ahead and... Okay, should I play c6 or should I go dc4? Of course, I maybe should also even consider something like bishop f4. Yeah, kind of a funky move. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time at this particular moment. I say that, and now I'm spending way too much time. Okay. Yeah, I don't have time to think further, so let's go dc4, a move that I know is not going to be terrible. I'm going to go bishop e6. Yep, I gotta tidy up and get back on track because time is getting a little bit low. I mean, technically, the time isn't that low, but you want to save time for moments that are more critical. Like, I just spend, what, 2.5 minutes on a move that's I probably thought of in like 3 seconds, so that's not a good sign. Okay, my idea was to transfer this bishop to d5, where I thought it would be much better placed. Let's go rook e8. Knight takes d6. Let's go c6. Oh wait, why didn't I take on f3? Oh, because then g takes f3 and it's nothing. Okay, let's go f6, because I know that knight e5 is always going to be very annoying for me. Okay, that's amazing. So rook d8, the idea is to target this d4 pawn. So right now I'm already threatening rook takes e1, followed by bishop takes f3. Okay, that is a bit of a strange move. But it's interesting. Definitely not a bad move. Let's go queen f4. Okay, I think I can take here. I do win a pawn, but it's... I mean, I guess a pawn is a pawn, so... take this pawn. And try to grind it out from here. So unfortunately, the pawn that I won kind of doesn't really matter, because if I get a 3 versus 2, it's still likely going to be a draw. Okay, let's go king f7. I'm sure he might go b5, honestly. It seemed to be a natural move to trade pair of pawns. So, I mean, the reason why I allowed that, because I didn't feel like it would have made that much difference if I didn't allow that. Okay, so he does do that. Okay, I'm going to try to play fast and get my opponent into time trouble. I feel like that's kind of the only way to win this type of position. I'm letting that pawn advance because it's not really going to go anywhere. He can play like rook b7 something right now and just trade pawns. But yeah, I'm just going to advance slowly. Just going to play a7. I'm going to go king g5. If he goes rook b8, well, at that point I have to take. So. I hope to like delay that a little bit. Okay, let's go. I just have to make sure I'm not blundering like rook check Yeah. The ideal situation, if I were white, I would have already traded those pawns, right? Because they could be dangerous. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna push. I know he's gonna play rook b8. Kind of has to. Well, he doesn't have to. It's just I have to take pretty much. And my idea was to go king g3. So I have this h2 square I can sit on. And the good thing is that here I can go. Okay. That's nice. Okay, the rest of the game should not be very difficult. Wow, that was a very hard fought game. Okay, yeah, that was very intense. Very well played. Very well played. That was incredibly impressive. Okay, let's check if. Okay, I guess there's no more games left, and we're starting round 2. So I'm playing GM Ready Opening. Good luck. Okay, so we're going a classical d4 setup and the Catalan. Knight d2, bishop g2, bishop e7, castle c2. So we transpose into an open, closed Catalan. I believe that's what it's called. Closed Catalan, my idea is to play e4. Oof, that move is a little bit suspicious because I have bishop f4. Yeah, I'm not sure you want to allow that. Now I go knight d6. Just gonna take up the bishop pair. I probably could have gone bishop d6 too, but this should be fine. And then c5. And now my idea is handicap this e7 bishop, and it looks like this bishop will also be stable for a long time on d6. So that's benefit. Or in this scenario, I might even want to give up that bishop. Yeah, let's go bishop e7. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the right idea. It's probably not, honestly. Yeah, I probably should not have done that. Yeah, I was a little bit impatient there. Should I go back now? Yeah, I'm gonna go back. I don't see a reason for me to have rushed. Actually, now he has 98. Ideas related associated with that. Nope. I'm gonna trust that bishop d6 is gonna work because he doesn't have enough time to go 98. He goes 98, I go 95. So maybe he has to go back to d8, rook d8. And then I go 95 anyways. Which is what I feel like was a better idea. Wow, he's going 98. First of all, hold on. If I just take on f8, and go queen h7, or 95 actually just wins the exchange, like by force. So do I want the exchange or the attack? You know what? I want this, and I want this. I want the clean exchange. And if he doesn't want that, I'm going to give him the attack. Queen h7. Rook d8. Okay, so he's not giving up the exchange, which means I'm going to be going for the attack. Okay, apparently he's still surviving pretty well. And I don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna start with Queen H8. Because I know his knight can't move. Hold on. Let me think for a second. If I go Rook C1, yeah, I'll go Rook C1. Remember, I'm up a pawn, so all I have to do is calm down and just play chess. Play normal chess and try to convert up a pawn. Anything extra is cherry on top. If he takes on c5, I'm taking back with the rook. Again, black's knight can't move because g7 is hanging. So it's kind of like a little bit of a bind for my opponent. The only move I kind of see for him to not allow the position to be completely blown up is b5. But again, closing the position also has consequences for my opponent because now I don't feel any pressure in the center and I can just go something like rook d3, rook f3, the rook lift, or yeah, something similar along those lines. Because there's no tension in the center anymore, I can start working on the flank. Okay, I did not expect that, and I probably okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play knight g6 and then take on d4. Knight g6 check, f takes g6 is forced. Now I'm going to take on d4. I feel like that's a better version, ruining my opponent's pawn structure, in the, both short term and long term. Rook takes c5, should have no problem. Queen b6. Not a huge surprise there. Let's see, what's the best way to begin converting my advantage? Well, it's probably by targeting the main weakness in my opponent's position. But I want to be precise here. Okay, I think I can start with b4. I don't think that can harm anybody. He's going to go a5, because that's pretty much his only opportunity to create something. If he doesn't, honestly, I'm going to be very surprised. Yeah, okay, a5. And let's go rook f4. Yeah, I'm just going to focus on the attack right now and go queen f8 next. I mean, right now I don't really calculate a mate. I probably should be calculating. Yeah, but I calculate at least significant material losses if he takes on b4. I don't really think you can prevent queen f8 because this knight can't move. So again, if you're new here, my name is Vincent, and you are watching Chess4Unity's third Saturday event. And this is a free event hosted every month by Chess4Unity. So if you want to know more about that, more about Chess4Unity and what we do, be sure to visit chess4unity.com. Chess4Unity.com. Okay. Queen f8. If king d7, rook f7 is going to be checkmate soon. If king d8, I mean, I can also go rook f7, it's going to be checkmate soon, or I can go rook d4. And then, okay, so that's going to be just, that should be effective enough. Okay, queen e7 takes. There's no choice. There's a lot of options. Let's end this game in a beautiful way. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was a good game. GM ready opening. Now let's take a look at some other games that are still pending. Let's check Brandon versus SYDK. Okay, so what's going on here? So clearly black is under some pressure on the queen side. Material is actually white is material. No, wait, no, it's equal material. I'm blind. Okay, it's equal material, but yeah, it's actually a very interesting situation. I think black might actually not have terrible. I think black actually might be totally fine here. White has some pressure, but black looks very, very solid. I can't really see how white is gonna like break through in any significant way. Now black is gonna launch a counterattack on his counterattack of his own with h5, h4, h3. Open up some lines on the king side. So that could be trouble. Let's see. Okay, and this is the only game left. That's kind of surprising. So let's keep an eye on this game. Rook e1. Interesting move. Probably one of the best moves in that position. Getting the queen out of its pretty annoying spot on e7, honestly. Now, where should the queen go? That's a good question. The queen goes to b4, which it does. Could be interesting. I mean, the queen has to go to b4, right? If the queen goes to f7, then bishop e6. Where else can the queen have gone? Yeah, I don't really see that many options anyways. Yeah, here, maybe bishop e6 is an option for white. Bishop f3, of course, is an option. Bishop f3 might be the best option. But again, bishop f3, black is probably going to play h4 and just sacrifice the g7 pawn, because that's irrelevant. In fact, losing the g7 pawn might accelerate black's own attack. So bishop e6, like I mentioned, a possibility. It's going to go h4, or maybe something like king a7, possibly, just getting out of the way. Bishop d5. Knight d5. Wow, okay. That's a little bit of a surprise. Yeah. Actually quite surprised White would play bishop e6 and bishop takes d5. But again, I mean, your bishop is... That's probably... Yeah, that's probably why bishop e6 was not that great. Because after king a7, black is going to take on e6 next anyways, and you're probably going to get into a very, very similar position. So instead, something like bishop f3 probably was more flexible and kept the options more open. So what can white do now? Let's check the standings for a moment. So far we have 2 people with 3 out of... we have 3 people with 2 out of 2. Including myself, Rose Dolphin, and Math54321. So there's a good chance that my next 2 opponents will be Rose Dolphin and Math54321. Queen b5. Interesting move. Knight d6, maybe. Yeah. But again, this is probably good for black, because this bishop on f2 is just straight up useless. Like, even if black plays something like queen d7 and knight takes b7, king takes b7, and trades off queens, like, black is still much better because this bishop on f2 is just really bad. And this knight on d5, like, is the perfect contrast to this bishop on f2. Okay, so black does exactly what I thought. Plays queen b7, white takes on b7, king takes b7. Okay, so now black just needs to get into an endgame. Like, if I were black right now, I would be solely focused on getting rid of all counterplay and getting into an endgame. Like, right now, queen d6, instantly. Or rook e8, right? Trade off pieces. That's your goal. Your goal is not to... Okay, h4 is a good move, actually. I'm not even going to try to say that, because h4 does put white into a little bit of an awkward position, because after queen f3, black can play g4. Yeah, that's a very good move. Yeah, g4 is actually very dangerous, and it looks really dangerous. Okay, so black does play g4. g4. White really doesn't have that many squares for the queen. Queen d1. Now, I can imagine a lot of moves being played. Queen d6. No, not queen d6. That's just terrible. Okay, f5. f5. Yeah, I mean, I guess f5 could be a move. It's a little bit risky, though, because you're giving white the e5 square. But I guess white can't really do anything with the e5 square because his dark square bishop is just so bad on f2. Yeah, so black's idea is simply just to push, right? Just break open the position. And white can't do anything on the king side because his piece, this knight on d5 is so well placed. It covers e7, covers c7, covers every square possible. Every possible invasion square the black knight covers. Okay, queen c1, but again, doesn't do anything because, yeah, f4. Because the black knight covers out all the invasion squares, so queen c1 is not going to get you anywhere. Yeah, g3 is coming. G3 is simply coming in here. But even that doesn't do anything. You can try to play rook takes d5, queen takes d5. And then he just goes king b8 or something, and you're lost still. Whoa, okay. That still should be fine. Yeah. Okay, as long as you're not covering any squares. But again, if I were black, I would have played something like h3 instead. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay. So clearly black is winning, but yeah, black is just winning. Never mind. There's no buts. I mean, you do get rid of the knight on d5, so there is some sort of ideas, but not really. Queen f3, king a7. Okay, black is doing a very nice job covering all the essential squares. Queen f2, now you go rook e1. Okay, I think h3 would have been better, but it's probably the same thing. Rook e1 is a huge threat. Rook e1, bishop takes e1, rook takes e1, king f2, queen g3 checkmate. So that's what he should play right now. Rook e1. Yeah. Nice find. Okay, that was a very interesting game. Very good game as well. Well played by both sides. So now we move on to round 3, where I am playing against Math 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So good luck. Let's play the French again. We want exciting games, don't we? So we will play this exciting line. Okay, that's a little bit of a surprise here. Okay, no, I'm not doing that. Okay. Yep, let's castle queenside. It's really the only exciting move in this position. So my idea here is to play attacking moves like g5. You know, those moves are fun. g5, just breaking open the center. Hopefully that leads us somewhere. Yeah, this is very interesting position. Obviously, very sharp as well. Chances for both sides to make significant mistakes. Okay, let's check out some other games while we're at it. So we gotta check board 2, Ramosaurus versus Rose Dolphin. And here we have a about equal position. And this game is significant because right now Rose Dolphin has 2, Ramosaurus has 1.5. So they can certainly be very good contenders for first place. This position is very, very interesting because I feel like white is a little bit better, but it's like this pawn structure on c3, b3 is very hard. Oh wait, yeah, of course white is better. White is up a pawn. I totally forgot. I originally thought it was equal material, but then I'm like, wait, why is there double pawns? So yeah, white is definitely better. To what extent is interesting because the double pawns really do restrict the mobility of the white pawns, but it also allows the white rook to get some open files. Okay, that is surprising. I did not expect that. And maybe it's a good move, really. Yeah, but to say I'm not shocked I would be lying. Because this is risky, I feel like, for white. I mean, I guess it's not that risky. Yeah, I see what he's trying to do. Yeah, because really, there's no way for me to attack the king side. So now my idea is just going to have to be knight e7, followed by e5, e4, and start pushing the center pawns, because, yeah, that's really my only idea. And black White is just going to go open up as many files as he possibly can. And unfortunately, I cannot play c4 because queen d4. So luckily I caught that. It is kind of like a strange situation, though. It's hard to evaluate this position. Because on one hand, like, looks like a good position for me, but yeah, that's the downside to playing in a variation like I just played with f6. Things get crazy real fast. I need to try to find some counterplay here. Not counterplay. I need to find some play on the king side. I already have some ideas, but they're just ideas for now. That's interesting. He's going to play bishop f2. Yeah, we gotta go e5. Quick. Actually, that was a very impulsive decision. I did not have to go e5. Now my dark square bishop is going to be gone, traded, and my position is entirely filled with dark square weaknesses. So, yeah, tough to evaluate. And without the dark square bishop, I almost have zero chances of attack. Yeah. I probably should have played h6. That would have been a very nice move, I feel like. It could have been a really bad move, but a really nice move too. Okay, now that is interesting. If I go e4 and he takes c5, I take f3, takes d6, takes d2, there. What is going on? Piece, 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 queen, queen. Oh, he gets my rook. Hold on. I'm gonna go with c4, mostly because I don't really see a lot of options. So I know that bishop takes a7, b6 is good for me, and that's pretty much all I need to know before I play c4. Because, yeah, options are limited. And I have to close up the king side, or things could, heat up very quickly. If I'm smart, my next move is king b8. But I don't know if I have the patience to play that move. We'll see. The idea of e4 is also something that my opponent has to worry about. Knight d4, bishop takes h2. But again, that's also double-edged. Yeah. It's just a double-edged position. And in this type of case, position is what I'm talking about when I say time is of the essence. Like, time is so important in this type of position, where it's both sides' game, and really it can come down to who has more time when it counts. Yeah, let's go h6. We need to open up some lines here. This is incredibly sad for my rooks. my gosh, I totally forgot that the pawn on d5 is hanging. I have to be careful. I can't just play knight f5, because at first I thought gh6, knight f5, bishop f2, rook takes h6, perfectly fine. But then I have to evaluate queen takes d5. Okay, fortunately for me, that did not happen. Okay, I'm just gonna need to give that up. Yeah, at this point I could care less about this pawn on a7. Actually, I'm not giving up yet. If he plays a5, now we're talking, but... But I'm hoping my counterattack is faster. Because one thing my opponent does have to keep in mind, and myself as well, is this bishop takes h3 idea, which can be a very effective one if I employ it correctly. It's really... This game's going to come down to who checkmates first. Who's gonna... Am I gonna play bishop takes h3 first? Or is my opponent gonna... Especially after he plays something like that. Yeah, it's tough. I'm trying to do some like fancy evaluation. It's tough when you have no idea what you're evaluating in the first place. Okay, let's go bishop knight f5. I don't think he's going to be courageous enough to play bishop takes a7 and allow knight g3. If I'm going to play knight g3 anyways, which I probably am not. But that's a different story. Actually, that's just stupid. Like, why would I not play knight g3? I mean, if bishop takes... If h takes g5 works, but if h takes g5, it's just going to play bishop e6. Oh, okay. So now we're really getting down to the wire with this. Okay, I think I'm gonna go knight g3. I'm gonna start with knight g3. Wow. Okay, I think that's a little bit too much there. King h2. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a stretch. Oh, I'm kind of like frozen here. It's a stretch, right? Yeah, let's just take. Yeah, that should be good enough. Yeah, rook f1 is next. Okay, wow. Yeah. That just drained my energy from 50 to 25. Yeah. Okay. Amazing game, Math 54321. You played very well. Just a couple mistakes from both sides near the end, and I was fortunate enough to come away with the victory. So let's take a look at the only game left in this round. Okay, yeah. So white won. Okay, next round is going to start in very soon. And yeah, me versus SYDK. So let's check the standings. So SYDK has 2 out of 2. So what happened? Ramosaurus. Draw. Okay. So I am the sole person with 3 out of 3. But again, I'm not playing for the draw here, you know. I'm going to give you guys some good, entertaining matches. '95. If knight b d7, I will take on d5. Whew. Okay, so my opponent plays c6, which does make kind of sense. Which does kind of make sense. But I'm going to take advantage of the fact that he played c6, and I'm going to play e4. e4, and now open up this bishop. The Catalan bishop, what I call it, the Catalan bishop, or the g2 bishop, absolutely hates pawns. So you eliminate pawns in front of that bishop, the bishop becomes very, very happy. Like this one is very happy right now. So, very interesting situation. I think I should go queen h5. But again, queen h5. f5, bishop g2, and I mean, I'm sure we can afford to sacrifice the d4 pawn. Probably irrelevant in this case, but still. Before sacrificing material, we must evaluate and calculate. Queen h5, f5. Pretty much bishop g2, queen takes d4. We can play bishop f4. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. The problem is I don't really see like where what the plan is. Like, I don't see where the direction we're heading, even if we do that. We don't have that many options though. We either have to play knight. We can't play knight g4 because of f5. We can't play knight d3 because queen takes d4. Could be an even worse scenario. Knight f3 is an option, but then he plays f5. And then bishop c2, c5. Which is sort of annoying. Yeah, that's somewhat unpleasant. But that's not terrible. Like that's a fine position. Queen h. I still want to make queen h5 work. I don't know if I'm just like seeing stuff, but queen h5, f5. Yep, we're gonna make this work. Let's go queen h5. We will sacrifice this pawn. And the reason why I had a sudden burst of confidence is because after f5, bishop g2, queen takes d4, queen e2. That's the move. I know it. And queen e2 has given me a wave of confidence because this move protects the knight, allows the rook to come free to d1, opens up the bishop, protects the b2 pawn, and also targets e6. That is enough for me to sacrifice a pawn. That is enough ideas for me to be comfortable with saying, yeah, I'm just going to give up a pawn. Previously, it was like, okay, instinctual, based on instinct, I should sacrifice the pawn, but I'm not seeing anything, right? But now it's kind of like, okay, queen e2, and now we're getting ideas. Okay. I still have the time advantage, which is good. Let's check some other boards. Let's check this board. Brevalentile versus Danky Dang 59. This to me looks like a draw. Dead draw. Bishop f4, and all you have to do is nothing. Play b4, and then king d6, and then just go. You just have to make sure that when you go bishop g3, when you go bishop g3, black shouldn't be able to play king d5, king g5. That's the only danger of losing. Oh, and then f4. Yeah, now that's losing. Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. Okay, let's go back to my game. Okay, so like I said, queen e2. And I have enough confidence in this move so I can blitz it out, not think too much about it. And that is great. With bishop f6, I have bishop f4. Absolutely fine with winning the bishop pair, even though if it means sacrificing a pawn long term. So my opponent's going to go into a bit of a long think again. So meanwhile, let's explore in this game between Chessboy and Katie. So what's going on here? It looks like after rook takes e5, white is going to win. Yeah, there's a lot of ways for white to approach this. You can win by being up 3 pawns. You can win by keeping those 3 pawns and attempting to checkmate your opponent, which is quite feasible in this position. Like, for example, you go king d8, and you go... So again, you can just play queen takes e8 and transfer... No, not queen takes e8. Rook takes e8. I mean, everything's fine, really, but let's say you go king d8 and then rook e1, right? Rook takes. You're going to checkmate your opponent or win a lot of material, right? But is that necessary? Probably not. Something like that is absolutely fine. Rook takes f5. Still completely winning. Let's check another game. We have GM Ready Opening, which was one of my previous opponents, versus Stephen Fay. And this is interesting, but rook c8 is a great move, and it's not looking fantastic for white in this situation. You're losing a lot of pawns, but, you know, with these kind of pass pawns, you never know what might happen, right? Anything can happen. Okay, let's get back to our game. Don't lose focus. Let's go bishop f4. feel like this move could be effective because it is somewhat threatening. Right, there are a lot of ideas associated behind this move. Let's go with this knight d7 move, which I really like. Queen e6, right? Which one should I take? Probably the knight, right? Yeah, the problem is that black just has 0 moves. Like, the only idea is... Like, I'm going rook c... No, I can't go rook c7. What am I kidding? Who am I kidding by going rook c7? I probably should go queen d6 and then rook c7. Like, at least that makes more human sense. Or I can just go like... it really depends on what my opponent plays. So bishop f6 was expected. Let's go b3. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't go b3. If rook e8, I have queen f5, right? I don't mind another pawn. Queen f5 is a threat, and you can't really stop it because you're not going to play g6. Because something like bishop e5 would just decimate the position for black. Okay, well, rook d8, that's fine. It's like a good move. Let's go rook d1. Rook takes d7, rook takes d7. Of course. Something like queen f7. Or again, f5 is still hanging. I don't even know why I'm looking outside. There's really nothing but pitch blackness. Let me just dig. There you go. Round 4. Now that move is interesting. I can take on f5, but let's go b4. The idea of b5. It's gonna go a6. And here I can decide to go b5, takes. Or it could be a better decision to let's go b5. Isn't necessary though. The idea of allowing even a little bit of counterplay is quite annoying to myself. So like b5, ab5, cb5, rook e8. Queen d6. Rook takes a2. bc6. Okay, that's good, but I'm not having that. I'm just gonna play c5. Yeah, let's just go c5. Just make sure he can't play c5. Okay. That is amazing. Now, let's move on to playing takes f3. 5. Okay, let's just take. Yeah, I think I'm being irrational by not taking. based on an unreasonable fear of counterplay that does not exist. Bishop e4 is coming. That's my next move. If he does nothing, and that would be devastating. And if you go something like bishop d4, I'm just going to go queen h3. Keep an eye on h7 and d7 while also attacking the bishop on d4. There's no... takes h7, king takes h7, queen takes. Yeah, oh well. Good game, SYDK. Let's see if there are any games left before. Okay, tournament's over. Congratulations to myself. And this is not even the final standings, so I'm just going to X that out. Let's see, I'm just going to try to look for the final standings here with all 4 rounds updated. Congratulations to myself, and coming in second place is Math54321. So thank you guys for tuning in to Chess4Unity's 3rd Saturday event. Remember, this event is free, and prize money, there's different sections for people. So if you don't feel comfortable playing the open section, there's always the under 1200 section or the under 600 section. And the prize money is the same for each section. First place is $45. First place is $30. Second place is $15. And if there's tie breaks, we split money so everyone has a fair chance. So I hope to see you guys next month. And yeah, have a good one.